Welcome. Well, you're at home with Jim and Joy, and you are an important part of our EWTN family, and we are delighted that you've welcomed us into your home, and we certainly would love to hear from you. So send us an email with your question or a comment about today's show to jimandjoy@EWTN.com. And remember, in this world of podcasts, you can listen to our show. Just go out to EWTN Podcast Central. And today we're welcoming back Deacon Kevin Cummings to our show. Now, Deacon Kevin is a retired dentist, married, father of 5, and a grandfather of 13 grandchildren. He is approaching his 50th marriage anniversary to his wife, Mary, and who also, she is a retired nurse. Now, he is the co-founder and moderator of Deacons of Hope. Deacons of Hope is a pro-life ministry that ministers in dioceses in Missouri and Kansas, and they provide emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual support for women who are pregnant and homeless, and there is a great need for these homes. Yeah. Today, he is here to share with us about the amazing work Deacons of Hope does to assist women in unplanned pregnancies to choose life. You could go out to the website, deaconsofhope.org. The beautiful thing about Deacons of Hope, if you heard yesterday's show and you're going to listen to today's show, you do not have to reinvent the wheel. They have the temple, they have the format, right? So they can say, well, this is something that isn't happening in my diocese. Maybe I have a new bishop, maybe I have a new deacon, and this is something I would love to do. And as Deacon Kevin shared yesterday, he said how many lay people are a part of this association.
Double the amount.
Right?
Yeah.
So Deacons of Hope. So if you're a lay person and you're thinking, there's a way I can get involved in this pro-life issue, this is the way. This is the way I can jump on and get on board with this beautiful pro-life ministry.
Well, Deacon Kevin's going to be sharing with us further about the great work going on in Missouri and Kansas, but he doesn't want to stop there. The Lord doesn't want to stop there. They want to go all throughout that Midwest and then all over the country. And like Joy was saying, they really have templates. They want to serve you to make this work of Deacons of Hope take place in your community, your diocese as well. Plenty more to come. We'll be right back. It's deaconsofhope.org, deaconsofhope.org. Don't go away.
Our guest today, and it is our privilege and honor to have Deacon Kevin Cummings with us. You can go out to the website deaconsofhope.org. He's a very passionate man about what he's sharing, and so I want you to listen. Now, Deacon, we want you to tell our family a quick summary of what Deacons of Hope does and why this ministry was birthed, and then we're going to go into the deeper parts of ways that people can get involved.
Okay. Well, it was born out of a need that a couple of deacons, myself and another deacon, Doug Hemke, noticed, and we wanted to become involved. And so we checked what was going on in our diocese, both the Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas. And we went to all the pregnancy resource centers in the greater metropolitan area, again, Twin Cities like. And all of the CEOs let us know the problem wasn't with what they were doing there. It was the fact that they had women falling through the cracks. And the crack was they had no homes. These were homeless women. And they did not want to have another baby because they had nowhere to take it home to.
Right.
And they might have had another previously. So we decided we would have to come up with residential answers for this, and knew it was going to be costly, very much. But we checked with our bishops. We had bishops on both, again, Kansas, Missouri, And the bishops, they were not able to help us because of the risk involved and also just the sheer cost of these things. But good idea. It sounds like something that would be very, very beneficial for these women. And you guys have the right heart for it. Go for it. So we wrote letters. We tried to get on the media. We tried to do things that would give our cause a little bit more voice. And thank goodness we were allowed to go into the parishes of both dioceses and speak of what we had in mind, that we wanted to open homes, residential homes from others who were in an unplanned pregnancy and that they needed the help. They were homeless. And so what we did was we approached donors, people that some were falling away, Catholics or not our religion at all, and they liked our idea. And because of that, one of the women that had adopted her children and had a hard time coming by them said she wanted to be involved. This was someone that, being a dentist, a patient referred me to her. And we talked with her and her husband, Matt, and they decided, we want to do this. We want to do this for you and for us. And because of that, we bought our first home in rural Kansas City area. And it was a 14-acre home with a 19-bedroom convent. And it was in disrepair 4 years without anyone being there. And we decided if we can get it fixed up, and there were plenty of construction arts people that were going to help us, we fixed it up to the point where it's the nicest bed and breakfast in Kansas City. Okay? And from there we grew. We opened 2 more facilities. One we took over because it had failed 3 times. And now it's full. Okay? And we also, in all of our facilities, we know it's not us. It's not the deacons or me. It's the Holy Spirit. We have a chapel in every one of our homes, and they can go in anytime they want, you see? And because of that, we keep growing. And we've opened, we'll be opening another one in July in a different area of the city. And yes, we opened our first ever home that is in connection with Catholic Charities of Kansas City, and they are going to provide adoption services for the women that want to come to that home and put their child up for adoption.
Well, that fits perfectly, it seems, with what they're supposed to be doing.
Absolutely. They've been doing adoptions for over 100 years in our facilities, and these adoptive families come back and they meet again. They're wonderful. And the bottom line is this will enable a family that may not have been able to afford a child, could not have their own, but could not afford a child, get to adopt a child for nearly nothing through Catholic Charities.
Right.
And these mothers, we think it's the most courageous thing you can do.
It is.
Now, when you started, you kind of took off on what your hope was, the things you want to do as deacons. Where does the Public Clerical Association of Christ Faithful that was established under your bishop fit in? You got that established and then you went forth?
Actually, we were working on it at the time. We knew we needed a group like the Deacons of Hope Association to be the infrastructure that could go in pretty seamlessly into the parishes and work with the priest and the pro-life committees and such as that. So we went to Archbishop Joseph Naumann, who was very, very pro-life, and he was the one that said, no, you can speak from the EMBO, and you can speak to these people. It's so wonderful. And in doing so, we got the time, the talent, and the treasure from these, and it enabled us to spread out into the entire diocese.
So, I mean, so you are in association with the Vatican.
We are called the Public Clerical Association of Christ Faithful, and because of that decree, we basically can go to any diocese in the United States. And because of that, that's our goal.
Right.
We would like
tremendous credibility.
Yes, we'd like to see others, because we have had a priest come from Scranton, Pennsylvania, heard about us from a videographer who's filmed our 4 films. Okay, and he told him about us. He came and visited, saw the place, said Mass for us, stayed a day, and he took everything we had, all our paperwork and our software, he took it back, asked his bishop, and he opened a house just like ours.
Excellent.
And I think he named it St. Mary's too. So it's wonderful, and we talk to them. They call us and say, what do you do with this?
Right.
Well, we have a CEO that's a psychologist. And because of that, we have to treat these women for where they came from. A lot of them have experienced post-traumatic stress disorder. You can imagine living in a car with 1 or more children. It's hard enough to live in a home with them. But the bottom line is these mothers that we treat, we do group, we assess them, and we go from there. And we take all the records and the data we need so that we can see if they're getting better, or what is it they need, what would help them more. And we provide this not only to our donors, but to the Vitae Foundation and the Deacons of Hope. So we correct our errors, and we get better at this. You see?
Yes.
And that's the beautiful thing, is because how am I helping somebody? So I got this woman, she's going to have her baby, right? And so we saved the woman, saved the baby, but now you want to teach her how to fish.
Correct.
So that she could go and live her life and be a thriving human being and being the best version of herself that she could be, and make a difference in the community and for her own children that she has.
That's what it takes. We know that when they come to us, they're going to have more, okay, than what they brought in. And what we need to do is we get them their GED, their education. We get them back in schools. We get them in the construction arts, train them. We have a mom that's a welder now, a licensed welder. I mean, they want to make a living so they can support their child and feel proud of their decision. And so we will allow them to stay up to 2 years or longer if need be, just to make sure they can land on their feet and they always have a place to come back to, because this is their home now. And we make it a home with love, and we make sure they always know we give them an angel. This is a trained woman who has been trained through our program with the Deacons of Hope, and they're prepared to answer the questions, because sometimes they've never been a mom before and they weren't treated the way most mothers would treat them. You see?
Mentoring is just critical.
Mentoring is so important. And the beautiful thing about Deacons of Hope is that you have more laity than you have deacons, right?
Yes, we do.
So the beautiful thing, and we say this and you just think someone's going to believe this someday, but the church has the answer to this abortion in our land. The church has the answer to turn lives around, right? And you, as this beautiful organization, you are doing this, and you are getting the laity to be empowered up from the pews to say, I want to be a part of the solution. I can get on board with this beautiful ministry.
You know, we do a pregnancy medical center where we
Correct.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful center. And when they come into our place, it looks good, it smells good. We have the sacrament there, whether they know that or not, so powerful, the presence of the Lord. And so this pro-life movement and what we share has to be more than didactic only. We have to invite them into a community. So when girls come to us, we don't have the set of the homes, but when they come to us, it's kind of like, we're going to see you through all the way to having this child. And if you need housing, you need whatever, there's other people that are doing that. We network with them. But Christianity is a way. Christianity is a community of believing people. And that's what you do. You're inviting them into another world. God's world come down here, and they can come in and be distrustful or whatever. But after time, they're going to say, this smells like, looks like a real community. They may not even be believing people, but they may become believers. And that's the beautiful thing, as presenting the pro-life movement as coming into a communal life.
It is, because the majority, just like the majority of volunteers and laity that work in the Deacons of Hope, we see many more community members who don't need a residential component, but they definitely need therapy and help and food and other items that they don't have or know how to use. So we go out into the community with our social workers and our therapists. We visit their homes and we take them what they need. And this is double the number again. We see at our 2 pregnancy resource centers over 80 people a week at both places, and these are mothers and fathers. And that's what we're really trying to do. We're trying to get the father more involved in the growth of this family. That's what they need as a family, and these fathers are hardwired to protect and to provide for this child. They don't want to be separated. I had a young man come to me once, a professional physician, and he said, I can't even live with myself anymore. I go, why? He goes, I paid for an abortion. I want to end my life. And I said, you need to really speak with someone. He goes, I can't. I've confessed that sin over and over again. And I go, he forgave you the first time. Just, you know what to do from here. And
But he needs that wound healed,
he
right?
needs it healed.
Right.
And this is one way they can do it. It's redemptive. That facility, like a lot of our facilities, isn't only hope, but it's redemption. So the more facilities we create out there in other dioceses, and the more deacons that become involved in this and realize this is what I'm being called for. I know I've done other ministries, but this is something that I can really bring life into the world and transform a woman's life with just a little bit of, you know, the male entity. You see?
I think of that film on Gandhi, and this man was dying, and there was warring factions between nations, and this man was dying, and he said how many people he had killed from the other side and so on. And then Gandhi said to him, well, adopt a child from this other side and raise him as your own. Reparation.
Exactly.
Repair. And so you're inviting people in and say, well, I've asked mercy for you, and you were forgiven the first time. But it's also, how do I repair? I can never totally repair that thing, but how do I live differently? How do I say, Lord, I'm sorry? Sometimes it's money sowing into this. It's just volunteering. It's saying, you know, I can't do what you're doing, but I want to support what you're doing. I want to be the extension of what you're doing. And that brings this healing, this reparation, this repair. And you're doing so much of that. We're going to take a break at this point. You'll have several minutes, and I want you to really share what's on your heart for all of our viewers throughout this country and throughout the world. We'll be right back. There's plenty more to come. Go to deaconsofhope.org, deaconsofhope.org to support the ministries there in Missouri and in Kansas, but go beyond. If something's percolating in your heart, you're a deacon, you're a priest, you're a bishop, you're a lay person, and you want something like this in your community. They have the template, they have the experience, they've been out there, they want to work with you. It's not going to be like, yeah, good luck. They're not saying that. They're not talking about luck. They're talking about we're doing this, and God is so for this. And if God is for it, who could be against it? Step out in faith. Step out in courage. You start it, and it will take place. We'll be right back. Plenty more to come. Don't go away. We're wrapping up our conversation with Deacon Kevin here about Deacons of Hope. And he's talking about a revolution in the pro-life movement of mobilizing deacons all over the country that could be a part of this clerical association blessed by the Vatican to do the sanctity of life work and minister to Christ in this way. Share more with us.
Well, I think that the part of this that I really want to impress on the viewers is all we need is deacons. All we need is the deacons who were ordained and came out of their program and decided, I'm going to do a ministry, and it's going to make a difference. This ministry will be something that will be so impactful that even it won't seem like work. I will actually enjoy what I'm doing every day. And we decided that helping women who have either never had a child or have had multiple abortions because of unplanned pregnancy is to see that child for the first time. This relieves some of the angst, some of the psychological problems that occur with post-abortive mothers, but most importantly, if we can get deacons to work through the parishes and to start chapters of Deacons of Hope, not only do we have the playbook and the background to make it an easy flow into your diocese, but more importantly, we have the spirit that it takes, you see, to keep it going. And it works almost on its own with the Holy Spirit because it does nothing but bring a mother and a child together for the first time. And I haven't seen a set of eyes yet of those infants that weren't Jesus Christ. And the truth of the matter is there is nothing you can do wrong when you invite a new life into the world. We need to change. We need to change the way the next generation looks at life and the value of it. These are precious beings, and these are God's best creation. We have to be able to provide that. And deacons are in a unique and intimate position with their family and friends and parishioners to go out and say, we've got a plan, and we can change this so there will be no abortion clinics open. Abortion, as abhorrent as it is, will be unthinkable. This is what we're trying to do. And we can do it. We've done it in a small area, and we'd just like to keep moving on. And we know deacons have the heart for it.
Yes. Well, and they're servants of the church. And
Correct.
so we need them to empower the laity to do the work. And like you said, nothing has to be reinvented here.
No.
It's there.
Right.
Just contact you, and then this could be birthed in every diocese throughout the world.
Absolutely. We don't want to, I don't want them to feel as if they have to be passive anymore. They can easily, be courageous and take on the discipleship of, no, this should not occur, and I know a positive way to help. It's to help every infant that goes into one of our homes and to find them a place where they can be loved and have a life.
Deacon Kevin, thank you so much
Thank you.
for your part in this great movement, and may it spread all over the country. We bless you and welcome to the family of EWTN.
Thank you.
So, what a powerful, powerful show. If you're a lay person, speak to your deacon. And your deacon will step out, and there'll be many laity that will step up for this. Just speak the word. Jesus Christ is so for this, for these women on the streets who don't have a place. Jesus is so for inviting them into a community of love and purpose and transforming lives. God bless you. You're an important part of this EWTN family. You're never alone. You're always at home with Jim and Joy. Life, marriage, and the family will prevail. Bye now.